the Mets. And you know something? It should be the Mets. But they got some money coming in. This is what will make the splash for the Mets. I mean, Amar Rosario, terrific, star. But they'll move him to center field. You'll see. You'll see. The Mets wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me if the New York Mets came out of nowhere. Wasn't Juan Pierre. Okay, it was not Juan Pierre. All right, I'm going to give you the message as soon as you give up. Cleveland Indians, they want a combination of good, young, big league players under team control for several years, along with top prospects. It would be like I don't know. It would be like the deal that they got Yasiel Puig and Fran Reyes to immediately help, and then they got Logan Allen and Scott Moss and Victor Nova. So we'll see. Cincinnati has talked to Cleveland about Lindor, free agent in 2 seasons. The Reds don't believe they can sign Lindor to an extension. Same thing with Trevor Bauer, but they showed that they went in and they want to go far this year. So that's what you got to do. It's not for the future. So, but Cleveland doesn't seem like they're that anxious, okay, to trade Lindor. If the Dodgers offer Gavin Lux, Dustin May, and somebody else, then Lindor goes to L.A. Now, he missed the first 18 games because of injuries, but he's been pretty durable. Between 2016 and 18, he only missed 11 games. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Trevor Bauer shows that they'll do it without a commitment from a player. So it's going to be interesting to see. The American League Central is getting better. The White Sox have spent over $240 million this winter to improve their roster. The Minnesota Twins won 101 games last year. Cleveland won 93, but now they're talking about Cleveland Indians over under 86. What do you think? Over under 86. All right, get ready for the answer to the trivia question, which was, name the last time a team had 2. And I got to find the answer. God bless America. I know it was the Milwaukee Brewers with Jonathan Villar was one, and I can't think of the other player now. It was Milwaukee with Jonathan Villar. It was 90. It was 2016, I think. Come on, give me now. You got to help me. The stupid legend had a great trivia question with an even better answer, but you can't find the answer. So it was Jonathan Villar was one of the players. Name the other one, okay? Let's turn it into another trivia question. It was the Milwaukee Brewers. It was Jonathan Villar. It was either 1980. It was either 2014 or 2016, okay? So who was that? Who were the 2 guys who stole 30 bases on the same team? You got that one? What's going to happen to Scooter Gurnett, by the way? There was talk that a couple of teams were interested. All right, I got the answer. It was Hernan Perez and Jonathan Villar in 2016. All right, sorry for being stupid and not knowing the answer to a great trivia question. But it was Hernan Perez and Jonathan Villar. How about that? Did anybody in the chat room get it? I can't scroll all over the place. All right, now, of course, Cleveland, they traded Corey Kluber. Okay, and the Indians got a guy who they liked. The Indians got this kid, Emmanuel Clase, who they got from Texas. He could be a closer, okay? He could be a closer. They got Delano DeShields. The Indians plan to open with Oscar Mercado in center. They don't have a lot of depth. Bradley Zimmer is trying to come back from a major shoulder injury that wiped out his last 2 seasons. Tyler Naquin is recovering from major ACL knee surgery. Okay, Greg Allen just batted .229. Jake Bowers had a chance to be the regular center fielder, but or left fielder. He only hit 226. Disappointment. Okay, so they got a lot of these guys. A player who is set up to be something is Daniel Johnson. He batted a combined 290 between AA and AAA. He's 24 years old. Keep an eye on this kid, Daniel Johnson, and that's what Cleveland's going on. So there you go, Daniel Johnson. All right, and don't forget the other guy, Nolan Jones, who's recovering from a right thumb surgery, should be ready to go in spring training. And Nolan Jones is another guy who you got to watch out for Cleveland. Nolan Jones. Okay, you got that? Hernan Perez, 34 steals. Class. I don't know. There you go. Carlos Gomez. Some great guesses in the chat room. Unholy Toledo is back. There you go. Hope you're okay, kid. I believe Arnie's coming up next, so stay tuned. It's just a belief. I don't have it in writing. Arnie, if you want to confirm that, please do. Bradley Zimmer, he's still hurt. All right, let's go through the Indians. Over at first base, the Indians of Cleveland, Carlos Santana and Jake Bowers. With Santana, we all know we're looking at a player here, okay? But I just have a feeling that Santana was one of those guys who took advantage of the juiced-up baseball. I'll give Santana a 270 batting average. I'll give him 25 home runs. He hit 34 last year. That's my Carlos Santana. He was tremendous last year. The big surprise last year was his 281 batting average, 13 points above his previous career high. So I'm looking for, at 33, maybe 265, 270, 25 to 30 home runs. Still a good ball player, with his on-base percentage being his key, but still, that's what I'm looking at for Carlos Santana. Over at second base for the Indians, Cesar Hernandez, who seems to be dropping in every single mock draft that I see, not getting a lot of love, is Hernandez, who's going to steal you some bases. And he could be pretty effective, I think, on the base paths. 15 to 20. He only had 9 last year. Okay? He's a league average second baseman. He's an everyday fixture at the bottom of the lineup. Okay? The Phillies just didn't want to pay up his final year of arbitration. He turns 30 in May. Best years might be behind him. 270 batting average, 10 to 12 to 13 home runs. 15 to 20 stolen bases for the 29-year-old second baseman. Very worthwhile pick in fantasy baseball. Lindor, we covered. We all know the guy's a star. He's got this perception of being sort of injury prone, but I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Over at third base, the big enigma. That's right, the enigma. Ramirez. Ramirez, the enigma. Okay, what are we going to do with Ramirez at third base? That's where he's going to play. He's playing third base. Jose Ramirez at third base, and I got to tell you, his stats. Oh my goodness gracious! Here's what I got about Jose Ramirez. 27 years old. He'll hit you about 270 to 275. He hit 255 last year. I'll say about 25 to 30 home runs and 25 stolen bases. He only had 23 home runs last year, but the stolen bases are a given at 27. He had a crazy season. He had 214 over the first 3 months of the season, but he had 18 stolen bases at that point. Okay, 18. Second part of the season, he had 320. From July until then, he broke his hamate bone at the end of August, and that was it. Okay, never came back. So you can expect anything. But he did recover from a horrible start, so I'm confident that he's not going to be that horrible player. 270, 275, 25 to 30 home runs, 25 to 30 stolen bases. I mean, this guy is a better pick than most. Okay? The Dow futures are at 123. So, and the market's ready to open. Okay? So, hold on to your hats there, Brooks. Hold on to all your hats. Now, over in the outfield, Jordan Luplow. Oh, my goodness, we got Jordan Luplow. So, I don't know, Jordan Luplow. Give me a little 265 to 70, 15 to 20 home runs. He'll steal you 3 or 4 bases. He saw limited action. He's a platoon outfielder. He's 26 years old. But he had an OPS of 9-something, 920. 15 home runs, but only 261 plate appearances. Okay? And 155 of those came against left-handed pitching. Okay? So, against righties, and he's a right-handed batter, he only hit 216. So, Luplow at age 26, I don't know. He's maybe a fill-in player in an only league. That's about it. So, Jordan Luplow, I'm not jumping up and down saying to everybody, I freaking discovered Jordan Luplow. In center field, you got the Shields, then you got Mercado and Reyes in the outfield. As far as the Shields goes, that's what he is, man. You're going to get some stolen bases out of the Shields, but that's about it. For Delino the Shields, I'll give you his, he'll steal you 20 bases. He'll steal you 20 bases. That's it. I mean, look, he's going to hit you. He's going to hit you about 240 and steal you about 20 bases. Last year he had 24. He hit 250 last year. Mercado, on the other hand, a lot of people are predicting this kid to be a star. And for Oscar Mercado, 275 batting average, 15 to 20 home runs, and 20 stolen bases. You got some talent here in Cleveland, but not enough to be a contending team. Not enough to be a contending team. The other player was Franmil Reyes, who's liable to hit you 30 home runs. So here you got the guy who's going to be the power guy, and that's with or without the juiced ball. So Reyes will give you 30-something home runs for sure. And Franmil is good for 260 batting average, get you about 80 RBIs. 37 home runs last year and 550 plate appearances, but he struck out about 28% of the time. He's got a 99%. He's 99% in average exit velocity. Okay, and his average fly ball distance is amazing. He's among the longest and hardest hitters in Major League Baseball, and that's Franmil Reyes. Etch it in your kitchen table. 30 home runs will be a disappointment. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's okay, George. You can own Jordan Luplow, okay? He's the big enema, not enigma. Yeah, the big enema. All right, next on the list, you got the pitching staff. And without Trevor Bauer, Andy doesn't want me to talk about the Cleveland pitchers. Clevenger, Carrasco, Bieber, Savali, Plesac. Clevenger, I don't know if he signed his new contract yet. Savali, probably not as good. In the Howard Bender took him in that FSGA draft, but I really believe that he was auto-picked on that. I'll have to ask Howard. 3.4, 1.2 ERA, 1.2 whip, 120 strikeouts. Savali made his debut, and look, he had a 93-mile-an-hour sinking fastball, doesn't overpower hitters. He doesn't have a true wipeout pitch. He can change speed. He's got command of his pitches. He's not bad, but I'm not paying more than a couple of dollars for him. I don't think he's going to be a star. Carrasco has shown us that he's a gamer. Coming back from being really sick last year. Carrasco this year is going to give you a 3.9